A new poll today, Australians are apparently not convinced by the Albanese government's renewable energy plan. This poll showing that only 40% believed Labor's 43% emissions reduction by 2030, just 6 years' time, would be achieved. Only 37% of Australians think that we are going to reach net zero by 2050. Basil, meantime, also support for nuclear lifted to 40%. This is now shaping up as a key election battleground issue as well, this nuclear.
I think what this tells us, what this polling tells us is, and just in case there's any Australian politicians who haven't quite cottoned on to this as yet, the Australian public are not mugs. Yes, they're very busy getting on with their lives, trying to negotiate the cost of living crisis and all of the current difficulties in Australian life that they have. But they're not mugs. We're living, walking, breathing in this country. And so we're well aware of where things are at in this pursuit of net zero. And so those targets, which, as you've outlined, not that far away in the case of 2036, etc., are we getting closer? Are we likely to meet them? The Australian public are saying, no, we can't see it at the moment. Now, either the Albanese government's not doing a good enough job selling it, or the Australian public are making up their own minds and going, look, right now from where we sit, we don't see it. We're either going to have to move faster, you're going to have to do things differently, or we're going to have to go down a different direction. And if nuclear is part of that answer, well, it makes sense, and it is certainly understandable why that number is on the rise.
Michael, the cost of living crisis plays into this as well, of course. You know, people are just struggling to make ends meet. We heard just how tough it is from the RBA governor yesterday when she said that people are even cancelling their medical appointments. So it's perhaps understandable that, you know, this isn't a priority for many families.
Look, what it shows me is this, Sharri. It's a very important poll. What it shows me is this. People are losing confidence in Albo personally. They're losing confidence in the government. They basically think the government overreached with so many promises, and they're basically losing control of the country. They don't think they can reach their renewable energy targets. They don't think they're to be believed on immigration, which they said they would cut very significantly. Albo promised that the cost of living crisis would be fixed by him, which he can't do. He promised energy relief of $275. He promised to effectively keep interest rates under control, which he's failed to do. He promised to keep the borders safe, which he's failed to do. That he was a national security leader, no difference between him and the Liberal Party. Well, we've seen what's happened with 153 people released from detention. He promised sort of social cohesion under Labor. We've seen the outbreak of anti-Semitism, worst we've seen in my lifetime, etc., etc. He's overreached and made so many promises. People basically now think this bloke can't be believed on anything. And he might have good intentions, but he's just not up to the job. And then what do we see him doing? Giving $1 billion to compete with the Chinese on making solar panels, $1 billion to quantum computing company, which is based in the US. People think he's got his priorities wrong. And I don't think Jim Chalmers is a star performer. So I think the fortunes of the government are continuing to decline. And as I've said many times, I don't think there's any hope that he'll have a majority government come the next election.